Okay, so I said I would show you how this kind of a question works. Um, so I went in and pulled up a color wheel with red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet on it. Um, I think some of the colors got a little bit skewed as I brought it over, but that's okay. Um, but these are um, pretty accurate as far as uh, numbers go, um, and it should be accurate enough for us to do our problem um, that we were looking at. So, what specific type or color of radiation is this? So let's just see if this is actually a color by looking at this wavelength. Now this is in angstroms, so I got the one I got was in nanometers, right? The wavelength. So I need to do a quick conversion to see how many nanometers this angstrom measurement is. So I'm going to use the first part of the conversion we used earlier when we were working on this problem, and that 1 angstrom was 1 times 10 to the minus 10 meters. And then I want to convert this to nanometers. So 1 nanometer is 1 times 10 to the minus 9 meters, like that. Um, so this looks like when I multiply and divide and cancel out my angstroms and meters, that I get about 632.5 nanometers, which is within the visible spectrum, right? So um, I look at my 632 nanometers, and it looks like it's going to be orange. So and you might find a slightly different one that says that that's red or whatever. Um, but the thing is if you find one that's in nanometers, then you use one. You could also put the number of angstroms that is. So it's really simple to convert from nanometers to angstroms. Uh, Really, all you do is add a zero. So this is 6,000 to 6,400 angstroms, like that. So this is 5,600 to 6,000 angstroms, and so on. So you could get an idea of what color it's going to be. You know, 6,400 to 7,000 angstroms and stuff like that. So if you let's see, what was it? What I do if I was you, and I found a color wheel before the test. If I wanted to, if I saw a question, anticipated seeing a question like this, and I wanted to be as fast as I could, then just for quickness, I would go ahead and do the conversions for these nanometers into other units like angstroms or meters or whatever, um, just to be faster. So 600 nanometers is 6 times 10 to the minus 7 meters. So once I know that, if I write it in there, I don't have to think as much or do as much calculation during the test. Just save myself a little bit of time that way. So this will be, looks like orange colored light. And again, depending on what your reference was, you might find something that says that it's very close to red, isn't it? 640 was red, so you might find an example where that says red. But anyway, maybe you put orangish red or reddish orange. Uh, so, but that would be again a way to be as the most prepared. Give you an example of how I would approach a question or preparing for my final exam if if I had a professor like me who was giving you clues as to what you might potentially see. But anyway, so that gives quite a few examples for exam number 2, and hopefully this will be very, very helpful as you continue to prepare and do a good job on your final.